Okay, so hello. This is like the third episode of my real life coding live sessions. So I'm just going to continue from the last video from the last time I touched this code, which was like all about integrating a component called React Data Grid, Datasheet Grid, which allowed me to view some CSV files in a spreadsheet format. So let me open up my application to see what we got last time. So I will go to my KipTrak folder and run the npm run dev command, which is going to launch both the backend and the server. Let me open up the front end. So last time I integrated this library called RDG or React Data Grid, Datasheet Grid, and it displays some JSON data as a spreadsheet table. Of course, the JSON data comes from a server, and this server reads these CSV files, so they get transpiled into JSON, and then they are sent back to the front end, which passes them to this React Grid component, and we can see this nice like spreadsheet view. I'm going to open up my console, and I'm going to continue where I left off last time, which was I had this really nice view, but I wanted first of all to add a label here. So instead of just seeing this checkbox here, I want to see something like completed or done, or and then I also wanted to restrict this column to just the numbers 0 to 10. So right now it's an integer, but I can write the user, can write like whatever they want. But I want to restrict this to just a range between 0 and 10. And then in here, I want to make this a drop-down. So instead of just being able like to write, right now I cannot write. For some reason, I accidentally made this a read-only column, but I will change that. And so instead of just picking up, like having this as a column where they just can write everything they want, I will just restrict this to 3 values, predefined values like beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And I will keep this the rest of the columns read only. But this one accidentally made this a read only, but this should be able to the user should be able to update it. So these are the kind of like the 3 tasks I have for today. So if you want, you can follow me along. So first, I'm going to just focus on the select column. So I'm going to go and make this level column a select, a drop-down. Now, last time I found that there is the documentation for the React Datasheet Grid. Let me open this up. They already have a documentation page for implementing a select column. So I'm going to use this to actually have something like this. That's exactly what I want. So I will keep this open, and let me just put this here. Okay, first of all, I have to find where I left off last time. So I will open up my source, my src file, and go to components and spreadsheet. And this was like, this is the spreadsheet component, which actually displays this thing here. It uses like some, I'm including some parts from the React Datasheet Grid library, and then I'm returning this Datasheet Grid component. I've already configured the columns, the column names, the column types. The only thing here that I need is to, first of all, remove the disabled prop from the level, because I really want this to be, let me refresh, I really want this to be editable. So accidentally I have placed disabled true property here, which actually makes a column, turns a column into like a read-only. So let me just commit this or stage this. And now I have to figure out how to make this, turn this column into a select. So right now it's a text. Now the first thing I want to do is like just fold these guys here and keep only this column here open. So I have my datasheet grid with some properties that I passed, like the columns, to configure the columns, and I have some basic dummy data to fill in just the first row. I will also add another row, so just to, I don't know, watch lecture 1 and, or sorry, that's concept. So I don't know, let's learn React and what's the lecture video. Okay, so now I have like some, like 2 rows just to play around. And I want to turn this into a select. Okay, I will go here and see what they mention. So for the columns, I already have this set up through like a variable. So in my code, this, let me also fold this one. I will state this for now, some dummy data. And I already have the columns configured through this columns variable. And in this example, they're just implementing this directly through an array. And they have this code. So for this one column, they use this select column, which I guess must be imported. Let me see. So key column. Okay. So right now I'm using key column, which I have imported from the react-datasheet-grid. I followed the documentation to do that. So I guess I need to import select column. So let me do that. Okay, select column is defined but never used. Okay, I will fix that. And then I will replace this, this column setting with this part. So I will just grab this thing here. And then the title. Okay, so I will just comment this and replace this with this. So we have the value and the label, and the title is level. So let me just change the values. So I have beginner, and the label will be like beginner, intermediate, and then advanced, and then of course the label advanced. So let's see if that worked. So I followed the guide. Let me see, I have like an error here, unused. Okay, this is unused because this was fixed. Okay, that was like a temporary TypeScript ignore kind of like comment, but VS Code reminded me that I no longer need to have that in place. So I'll also state this part, and let's see if that works. So I will go back to my application. Let me refresh, and I have some problems. So select column is not a function at spreadsheet. So select column is not a function. Okay, select column, and let's see something. I did something wrong. So select column. Okay. Then I need to. So the goal here is to implement a simple select that can serve as a base for a production-ready component for your application. Then, okay, so this is the end result. So there isn't a thing like select column, I guess, or is it? Let me check what I get back. So, is there a thing like? Am I importing something, or I'm just importing like? So let me refresh and okay, undefined. Okay, so I thought there was like a built-in thing. As you can see, there's no such thing as select column. So this is something that we will build, which means that we have to build this ourselves. Okay, better read the documentation a little bit carefully. Setup. We'll be using the popular React Select library. First, we need to install it. Let me just quickly open this up to remind myself. I remember React Select, but it's been quite a while. So this is a select control for React. Initially, it was built for this library to develop in the just work, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, this is like a React select, just like the HTML select element. It's like a React component for creating these select boxes. Okay, let me go back to the documentation. Okay, it's npm install React select, and if you're using TypeScript, we also have to install the types for this one. That's nice that they mentioned this. So I will go here and stop my server and then go to the client folder and then install React Select. And then I also need to install the TypeScript types because I'm using TypeScript. Okay. And let me like open up my package.json to see that I have like this new dependency. And on the dev dependencies, I have the TypeScript type. Okay, these two guys are been installed. Now let's go to the rest of the tutorial. So if you're using blah 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 TypeScript or plain JS, okay, that's okay. I'm using TypeScript. And now we can simply use the select. Okay, so component select. Okay, let me do that. So I will import select, and then in here I'm just going to like comment this for now. And now I need to comment this whole thing. And then I will have to just say component select. Okay, that's strange. Let's see what happens with this component select. Okay, let's see what's happening in my application. Let's refresh. Oh, I need to run the application, of course. I will have to go to the parent directory and I can run npm run dev to run my full stack app. Now this got back. Once again, I have these types. The TypeScript is complaining. Okay, I'll have to temporarily like I just to silence TypeScript for now and focus on like the implementation, and then I will go back and okay, I have this select, but there are no values. So okay, let me see whether okay, I'm seeing something like this. Even though there is no option here, I'm not sure I can see that in my application. No options, okay, but the styling is a little bit strange here. Let's see. The result is not great, but at least it works. We simply need to do a little styling. To do this, we need to customize the props and behavior of the select component by wrapping it in a component of our own. So let me do just that. I will go like here, create this component, and then I will replace the select with the select component. Okay, so let's move this here. Let's make sure that this works. Okay, nothing changed, just a component that returns exactly the same component that I had here. Okay, styling. Okay, according to React Select Doc, we can use the styles prop to style any part of the select component. So far, we only need to style 3 elements: the container to make it take the full width and height of the cell, the control, once again for the full height of the container, indicator, separator. Okay, I'll just like copy this and see whether that fixes the styling. So I will select this and kind of like trust the authors that this will give me like a nicer view. Let me see. Yes, it's a little bit, I'm not sure. Let me run it again. Okay, in my example, it doesn't look very nice. Let me just restart in case it needs some hard restart. Let me see whether... Okay, still not looking good, but I'll just trust this guide. And okay, they have this thing here. Okay, but they do mention that interacting with our select does not feel right, but it is already looking a lot better. To fix this issue, we need to prevent the mouse cursor from interacting with the select unless the cell is focused. We can use the focus prop to set the CSS property pointer events to none when the cell is not focused. Okay, so we are customizing our select component. We also need this import. I think this wasn't it wasn't here. Okay, so let me also import this from. So I will just import it here. I don't need multiple imports, sorry, from the same library. And then I will put it select component, focus, and then here cell props. Okay, and I think I have this right. And then here in my container, I need to add this pointer event. Okay, the error that got away, get rid of that. So that's cool. Let me check what's happening. So okay, much nicer. Okay, at least when I focus on this column, I can like access this. Still the styling looks a little bit messy, but let me follow this guide. So if we add 10 rows to our datasheet grid, we see that the select placeholder and the card look very repetitive. It is recommended to only show placeholders on active cells to avoid this effect. Yeah, so probably this will fix this ugly thing that I see, and I will have to change the styles and indicator, container, and placeholder. So indicator, container, and placeholder. So let me add this here, and cannot find name active. So I'm inside styles. Okay, and we also need active. So the documentation is missing some bits, as you can see. So before there was focus, now the focus is removed. We can just see active. So anyway, but and let me see what's happening now. Okay. Okay, at least when I click on the column, that's nice. I can only see one select when I select. Still not really nice when I like try to select something. Let's see if this fix. And then I can add some options. So select options. So I will put it here as a prop. And okay, let's see what happens here. Okay. Doesn't seem to work. Okay. Let me use my keyboard. Okay. I cannot seem to be able like to click. At least not easily. Okay, this is not what I expect. Strawberry. Let me zoom out a bit. No, I'm already. Oh, no. Yeah, let me see if I zoom out a bit. No, it's still impossible like to select the next one, like strawberry. So still buggy. Let me just follow this tutorial to the end and see if something. The end result is a placeholder that is only visible when the cell is active, and the component in. Okay. It now takes 3 clicks to open the menu. Click once to select the cell, click again to focus. And we can fix that by using the focus prop to control the menu is open prop of the select. Okay, let me this inside the select. And that was in just like a prop. Okay, this takes actually a lot longer than I expected. Let's see what happens now. Okay, I'm not sure if... Okay, still feels way too buggy, at least on my app. We have another issue. If you try to open the select of the last row, you have to scroll to see the menu. Yeah, okay, I think that's the problem I'm getting. The solution is to use portals. Let me just remind myself what a portal is. So the docs are old enough to be updated. So let me go to the new React documentation and search for portals. So you can use a portal to create a model dialog that floats above the rest of the page. And I think that you, okay, here's the portal API. So create portal that you render some children into a different part of the DOM. So the portal is a React like library feature that enables you like to render some children in a different part of the DOM other than the main app or the main div, sorry, or the main HTML element that you render your full app. Okay, I'm just interested to see the result for now. So let me put this in the select. So you can see it's getting pretty big here. And this is like a little bit updated. Okay, now it looks much nicer. There is this, I don't know, like the selection is not like visible. I knew I had some styling issues or styling conflicts with my own CSS. So let me see whether that has something to do with my styling. Let me just quickly go in my CSS, which is actually here, and let me see. I have like, okay, I have my here my CSS index CSS. So I will just remove everything and see whether that, yeah, okay. So I think my styling here, just going to undo this, is okay. I had this problem earlier with this color scheme. So let me also comment this because I still haven't figured out what the color scheme is doing, and I have to dig into that. No, I still have this problem, and let me see what else would be the case. So my color, let me change the color here. Yeah, okay. So the color here, I'm using this white, and it's kind of like conflicting with this. Okay, so for now, I'm not sure why there's this white color here. Maybe it's because of the Vit, like boilerplate. So background color, I will just keep this. I will just comment these colors for now. Like just start with a plain light theme, and then I will see how I can like change things. Okay, now it works. I know that. Okay, I will also keep these CSS things like commented for now. I will figure out the styling later on. Okay, also. So now I have this nice selection. I think I'm done for this session. Like I was expecting this to be a lot quicker. Okay, the menu is not displayed correctly. But when you start typing, the open menu, the menu open because the cell gains focus, but nothing else happens. You have to manually click on the input to start searching. Let's see if. Okay, so when I go here, and I have to start, okay, I go here, I click, and then I have to click this one, or I have to start typing to see the menu. I think that's what they mentioned here. You have to manually click on the input to start searching. We have the same issue when we close the menu by pressing escape. The input is still in focus with a blinking cursor. So let me see also. If I open this and then press escape, okay, nothing happened. Oh, sorry, I'm not pressing escape. So vanilla and then escape. Okay, and we have the cursor here. So this is what they mentioned, that this is not a nice user experience. Okay, to fix the issue, we simply need to manually focus and blur the input when we gain or lose focus. We can use a ref of the select element along with layout effect. Okay, this is getting a lot more complicated than I initially expected. So let me move this here. So I have one like import from React, and then let's see how I need to update the select components. So I have this ref here, right here, and then I have this layout effect, the use layout effect, the use layout hook. This is one of the rare moments where I see this in action. So we see this TypeScript property focus does not exist on type state managed select. Okay, and then I will put this here and see if those errors get... Okay. Ref equals ref. So let me see. I think I've pasted everything okay. I think I followed the instructions correctly, but I'm still getting these TypeScript errors. Maybe they haven't, like, I don't know. Check this. Okay, and if I press escape, okay, now the escape works. Okay, I don't see this blinking cursor when I press escape. And then I think it looks, yeah, and it works like a little bit better than before. Okay, keeping focus. Still more things. Wow, we have a lot to cover on this one. So the focus. Okay, I think I will follow all the instructions, like just copy and paste all the code that they mention, they suggest, and then test at the end. So select, go to the select component, and I will put this on menu close. Stop editing. Okay, stop editing is just another parameter destructuring. Stop editing. I'm also going to like use the power of DS for these guys here. I just don't like seeing this. I have a lot of TypeScript things to fix later on. And then here in the columns, for this one, I will have to put keep focus true. Okay, so let me go here and keep focus true. I think that's, yep. And then fix the up and arrow down keys. Let's disable keys. A lot of options on this component. And then until this point was not modified, it looks that select is working. Okay, and then we have this select component, row data. Okay, what's happening here? Like, can just pass the row data as value. We have to pass the entire choice object. And then, okay, let me try to follow this one. So right here I have my value, data. Okay, that's it. And the data is right here. Where do I have my data? Here. Okay, here I have my data in my use state. And then they're not using use state here. So I'm just going to follow this like along and see what happens. So, or also here, row data, and then just follow this guy and choices, options, and select value. Okay, this is pretty much okay, that's not going to work on my side. Let me see how this goes. Like set row data and copy pasting, making the copy generic. Also, you also have a final result. Okay, I think I will go with find the result, and then using multiple columns. Of course, you probably want to have multiple columns and use objects instead. There is no extra work. Okay, now I will just copy this code and choice. Okay, I will copy this code. Wow, this is way too big for let's see. Okay, now this is what I should have done from the. Okay, I will just do that. I will just undo everything. I will go back to the start, at least to the point where I had my code before the select thingy. And so I will go to like the previous setup, and yeah, and just go here. Okay, so this is where I started now, because this guy like tends to be really complicated. Okay, let me just for now let me just like disable the error lens, or let me see how I can disable error lens in a page. So toggle global setting. Sometimes you can just put a comment in your code and then a particular extension stops like functioning. Let me see. Enabled. Let me see if that works here. So if I put error lens disable or false, or I don't know, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's the settings. Okay. So let's see if they have something to like error lens. Okay, let me quickly check, otherwise I will just disable it. So error lens disable on a specific file. Extension warnings. Okay, let me see. Okay, we have toggle warning. I need like an easier way to disable line comment form. Comment form error lens. Okay, error lens comments. Comment. So add a comment to disable line for linter rule. Comment form is controlled by disable comment settings. Disable line. Commands. Okay, they have this. Let me just zoom out a bit. It's and oh my god, easily disable. Okay, this is not helping, but I will just keep a note here, like to do. How can I disable like error lens on specific files? I really want to. So let's try the error lens disable from here. Toggle errors. Let me go here and say error lens disable. Okay, a little bit better. So now I have a use state here. I have, I'm also importing datasheet from there. Okay, so I have these things. Let's go back here. And okay, let's copy the types. So I'll put the types after the imports. And this now, just let me see if I can see this. Use layout is defined but never select options. Is declared by never used. Okay, as you can see, I can see the problems. Usually I hover and I see the warnings and the errors, but for some reason, something is stopping me for seeing these errors on hover. So I will just use the problems terminal. Let me go here and copy this select component, this huge select component, along with a select column, which is, I have no idea what this is, but we'll just paste it here. So, and I will just fold these guys for now. I'm not sure. Okay, and let's see if this works. So, let me just paste this here in my, if that works, I would be really, really happy. Okay, let me go to the terminal. I will just restart. Since I did a lot of changes. Okay, now I have this thing. It's a little bit buggy because where is everything? Where did everything go? Chocolate, vanilla. Okay, let me refresh. So the problem is that I can edit these columns, but when I click this thing, everything goes away. I believe that has something to do with how I set the state on its column. So choices, and yeah, so this is it. Set data, select column. Okay. That's interesting. I'm not sure if they mentioned something. Okay, so this is the multiple columns part. So this is what I'm missing. So columns, let me just grab this guy. It's really hard to follow this thing, to be honest, but just going to trust these guys and say set data. So this is just for quantity, flavor, strawberry, columns, and then I have select column. Let me see. So select column. Oh, I need to, I see. So in here it was just select column. In here I have like key column, and I put this thing here, and I put choices, which is, where the heck is the choices? Let me just copy this thing here. Okay, the choices. I need some choices here. Okay. And then I need the columns to have this type. Sorry, this type. It's nice to have some types here. And oh no, flavor. Okay, no, I won't do this here now because I'm going to get into trouble with TypeScript. I don't want to. So to do, and then I need this to fix all the types for all the columns. So I'm just going to be let's see what happens here. Still buggy. Okay, now it works. Okay, let me refresh. Looks okay. Now it works. That's good. Okay, it works. I'm really happy about this. The only thing I'm worried about is that I kind of missed this part. So in here, they supply the row, the data for all the rows, which is okay. Where is the data in this code? It's here, but we have quantity. Okay. Now I'm starting to get this. So in the level, here's my data. Here's my like column data. Okay, and I have this array of objects. Okay, and then flavor, quantity, and beginner. Okay, and they're having. Okay, and they're using the value here, the value name, which is like this here. Okay, so now I think. Okay, hopefully this is what I need. I need to do some extra checks. So this is read only, this is read only, this is the read only, this is the read only. Okay, perfect. This can be like one of these guys. This can be like one or two or whatever. And it seems to be working. Now let me check the state just to see that the state gets updated. So I'm going to go to my React Dev Tools and let me reload. Looks like this page doesn't have React or it hasn't been loaded yet. Let me just reopen the DevTools. Okay. So then I have the spreadsheet which has the state. Okay, this is the state for this spreadsheet, and the level is beginner. Okay, the level is beginner, but I cannot see the level. Let me change that to chocolate. Okay, I kept the old, like the flavor property name from the example. Okay, so let me just replace that, and the key column is level. Okay, let me just refresh, and I still cannot see here, but the state is level beginner. Okay, this new entry, I'm not sure what this new entry is all about. Let me check. Okay, the level changed, but it didn't change here. No, it changed. Okay, so the state gets updated, so that's good. Now the only problem I have is that when I load, the level is not set to, you know, like beginner. So let me see what's going on in here. First of all, I have this new entry. What is this new entry? I'm not sure I need this. Okay, so I pass this value and the data here, the level is beginner. So the initial data contains beginner. So that's good. Now the choices here should be, okay, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Also here advanced, intermediate, and beginner. Let's, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So now I can see the, let me just move this here. Okay, now I can see the initial value. So let me change something. So I would change this to let's say advanced. Okay, advanced, that's good, perfect. So the data loads and I see the level here. Let me check my state here. So I will go here, check the state, perfect, okay. And if I do intermediate here, that changes, and if I do beginner here, that changes. Okay, perfect, that works. So that was quite a lot of like copying and pasting, and I don't know, I was expecting something like much easier and quicker. At least I have this up and running. Before I wrap up, let me see. There is this new entry here that kind of like looks a little bit like on the state. I have this new entry, which I'm not sure why it is there. So let me see what I copied. So this is the select column and the select component. New entry. There's nothing here about the new entry. Okay, I'm not sure where this new entry is coming from. Probably is from this react-datasheet-grid component. Maybe there's a new entry. And what if I change this? Okay, maybe there's an entry for like a column that can be added. I'm not sure. Let me do a quick Google search for React datasheet grid and new entry. Let's see whether that's related to the component. Solved. Okay, I will have to figure that out in the next session. Okay, that was quite a lot, I think, for this session. At least I have this drop down. Seems to there is a bug, as you can see, that if I click sometimes, like I click here, I can select, but sometimes it's still, yeah, it feels a little bit buggy. Like if I click here, or I don't know, in some, anyway, I'll find this in the next session probably. Okay, that's it for today. I was able like to just find a way to enable a select column for the React datasheet grid. So I guess on the next episode, I will have to work on the restrict column. So that's like the thing here. So I want to restrict this to values just between 0 and 10. And I saw there was like a Stack Overflow related to this one, and also add the label on the completed here, so it's actually much nicer than a simple checkbox. And yeah, and of course we have a lot to cover. Like we have to find out why the hover thing doesn't work on VS Code when I hover over an error. And also there are a lot of in here there are a lot of comments that disable TypeScript, so I have to move this and then figure out what this error is all about and how I can fix this. Okay, so let me put that back in. That was it for today. It was quite heavy. I'm not sure about you, but it was definitely quite heavy for me. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.